Welcome back to Routine Rundown, the show where we discuss the beauty industry and our routines beyond what meets the eye. I'm your host, Zoë Weiner, Senior Beauty Editor at Well+Good, and today we're speaking with Dr. Elena Jones, a board-certified dermatologist and the skincare brain behind Pharrell Williams' beauty brand Humanrace. In this conversation, Dr. Elena and I talk about how she became a mentor to many budding dermatologists in New York City, and how her 20-year-long friendship with Pharrell, and his reputation for having the skin of basically a vampire, evolved into the two of them working together to create a skincare line that focuses on the basic essentials of skin health. We also get into the importance of consistency and routine and the effects that inconsistency can have on your skin. Spoiler alert, they're not good. Before we dive in, don't forget to please leave us a review, share this episode with a friend, and subscribe to our newsletter, which is linked in the show notes to keep the conversation going. Now, let's get into it.
I'm a New York City born and bred dermatologist. I went to Wellesley College, Georgetown School of Medicine. Basically learned from some of the best dermatologists in New York. And with my over 20-year experience now, I really hope that I'm a mentor to many of the best budding dermatologists in New York City. I met Pharrell probably about good 20, 22 years ago. He walked into my office as a patient. He was concerned at that time about his skin, a skincare routine, and I was quite impressed that he was just inquisitive. He didn't want me to just, lay out a routine for him. He really wanted to know the ins and outs, the details, the science behind what I was giving him. So, and then just over the years, I've worked with him on a routine for himself. And, I guess we've established a friendship, and I, so appreciate the fact that he's entrusted his beautiful skincare to me.
And what is in the line itself at this point? There's skincare, there's body care, you just launched sun care. Walk me through the products.
So basically, we wanted to have a simple routine, something that patients can follow and adhere to, because something that I really try to impart to my patients is that, really consistency and a regimen or a routine are important. So we started off with this, our 3-minute facial, basically take 3 minutes for yourself, take 3 minutes out of your day and night for your skincare. So the initial skincare was the rice powder cleanser, the lotus enzyme exfoliator, and the humidifying face cream. These are really your basic skin health essentials. And then next, we launched the body care steps. So again, we have 3 different body care steps. We have a cleansing body bar, we have an exfoliating body bar, and we have a humidifying body cream. So, the idea here was that we really want to take care of our body in the same way that we're taking care of our facial skin. Last month, after about probably 2.5 years or more of research and development, I was beyond excited that we finally launched our sun care line. So this sun care line includes our ozone face protection and our ozone body protection. They're mineral-based sunscreens. They're broad spectrum in that they cover both UVA and UVB rays. They're an SPF 30, and it's really just such a critical step in taking care of your skin.
It's got the basics of what you need, which I love in this overcomplicated skincare world we're currently in, which we'll get into. Something that's really stood out to me about the line is how inclusive it feels. I know that there's Braille on the packaging, which we somehow still don't see much of it all in the beauty world. It's for men, it's for women, it's really for anyone. It's totally gender neutral. Why was that something that was important to you when you were formulating, and how did inclusivity play a role in the formulations that you and Pharrell came up with?
We really couldn't call ourselves Humanrace Skincare and not have inclusivity at the forefront of the development of the formulation. I mean, look, the team includes me. I'm a Black woman, right? We include other people of color and all hues. We represent, all genders. So really, it was inherent that Humanrace was designed for all genders, all skin tones, and all skin types. We wanted and really needed everyone to feel a part of their skincare. Of course, there are some nuanced differences in skin across the genders, but we really just wanted to create a skincare line that was focused on skin health. And as I said, just a daily routine that simplifies your skincare journey. The Humanrace skincare really is all about, again, as I said, a routine that can be consistently followed. We want everyone to cleanse, exfoliate, and really moisturize from our faces on down to our toes.
Yeah, that's something we talk about a lot at Well and Good because I think, in the world of wanting to look glowy on TikTok and Instagram, everybody's really concerned about aesthetics and getting that instant radiant boost and kind of all of that no filter, filterless, filtered skin. You know what I mean? Where they want to look immediately perfect. But skin health is really at the root of that. And the routine that you and Pharrell came up with really is simple. Why are those few simple steps really the core of skin health? And why were those few products the ones you launched with?
Yeah, again, I think it's all about we wanted people to be able to follow a routine, take the moment for themselves, take that 3 minutes in the morning and night, and cleanse, exfoliate, moisturize, and sunscreen. I think that was the important thing, and then the ingredients that were chosen. I mean, we made sure that we really left no stone unturned because we really wanted to find clean, healthy, and effective ingredients that can really help everyone in their skincare journey.
And you are not afraid of exfoliation, which I think is great because I feel like these days exfoliants they get vilified a lot on social media, but that you have two exfoliants in the line, right?
We did. No, I'm not afraid of exfoliation. I think, you know what? It's about education, everything in moderation. I think, acne and oily skin types, they might be able to exfoliate a little bit more. Sensitive skin types or, drier skin types might want to use our, lotus enzyme exfoliator, maybe, once a week or twice a week. So it's really about titrating these products to your, skin type.
And, as I said, we are kind of in this moment of overcomplication where people want to do a zillion. I think we're starting to move away from it where people are realizing that like 10 steps is not necessary and you can be doing more harm to your skin. But why do you think, keeping it basic is really the best way to go?
I think overcomplication has definitely been an issue. I've never ever been a fan of using multiple steps. As I said, I really think it's just important to have a simple routine that you can follow. I think what makes our products like universal is that we really, as I said, left no stone unturned in the choice of ingredients. To make sure they're effective, clean, and that they work well in all skin types. We talked about education, that education is important. So we really want to be in this space so we can educate patients, educate them about their skin care and about their skin health. But again, keeping it simple. We also want to make sure that, these steps can be followed easily. We want you to fit these into your busy schedules. We want you to take time for your face, take time for your body, take time for yourself.
And something that I think is so cool is that Pharrell is a male founder. I think that we are seeing a lot of gender neutral brands, which are amazing, but a lot of them come from female founders or have kind of female faces out front. And I'm curious kind of how that's come into the language or the formulations or kind of really making it feel like it's for all genders. And, men, I think, are still kind of left behind, even in this gender neutral moment of beauty that we're in.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think men tend to be left behind. However, I think Pharrell really is, saying to men, it's okay. Look at me. Take care of your skin. I take care of my skin. I take care of my body. And I think men, and especially young men, appreciate it. I mean, I think one of the stories that I tell is I really love that I'm seeing more and more younger men, in my office from teens, on up to the young 20s who really, really want to take care of their skin. So I think, it was critical and it's really important for Humanrace to develop or to ensure that our products really were designed for all genders. We started with like the look and feel of the product and the messaging behind it. And the messaging really it's like Pharrell, what he said and a lot of things he says that, I just take heart to, I listen to, I remember. And one of the things that resonated with me that he said is that, we want to leave this space better than we found it. And that's really true. So this quote really applies to all aspects of the Humanrace skincare line. As you said, from the packaging with the braille, with the braille imprint, to the gender neutral colors, to the shape and function of the products. So, again, it was also important in our messaging for all genders, for all ages. We want you to start in your teens. Start young to take care of yourself. But, take that moment for yourself. Take that moment for your skin. Take that moment for your health. Take that moment to recognize other human beings. Take that moment for our environment. So again, it's just all about pausing and just really taking the time to care about you, yourself, and the environment, and your universe.
I love that. And I know that my boyfriend uses my Humanrace products just as much as I do. So they are really a fan favorite in this household. And I think something else that I found really interesting is the sensory experience that you guys have put together with these products. The exfoliant is gentle, but it really feels like a nice, beautiful, like frothy, physical, lovely exfoliant. I can't think of enough positive adjectives to really describe that 3-minute facial, and kind of all of that makes it feel like self-care. So is that something that you guys were thinking about as you were formulating, and how did that experiential sensory moment come about?
That was all Pharrell. With his artistic brain, I think the sensory experience was really all Pharrell. He's truly in tune to the universe and the universe, effect on him. I just don't really have his sixth sense. So, the rice powder cleanser, when it was created, we all knew that there was something special about that sensation when use that powder in your hand, you lather, you add the water, you lather it up. It's like having that tactile experience, along with a refreshing and satisfying one, knowing that your skin texture is improving is really satisfying. The names of the humidifying face cream and body creams, they really pay homage to Pharrell's love of humidity. I don't know if you've heard that, but he loves that. He loves humidity. He loves the glow, the dewy feel, the hydration that humidity really imparts to his skin. So those were the goals of our two, moisturizers. So, we want the Humanrace routines to be something that you notice the benefits both inside and out. Again, take this moment for yourself. I mean, I can't repeat that enough, but it really is just taking the time so that you can feel the benefits of just nourishing your physical and your mental spirit.
Yeah, and I think what's so cool is that often when we tell people to take time for self-care, they think that means, you have to set aside an hour to meditate or 45 minutes to do an at-home facial. But you guys have proven that that's really not the case. You need 3 minutes, maybe 5 if you're going to do the whole routine.
Exactly.
And I know that you just launched sun care, which I feel like really rounds out this bare basics, perfect routine. It took a long time to formulate, as all sunscreens tend to, but tell me a little bit about that process.
Right. Again, as I said, as a dermatologist, I am like beyond elated. I have just been waiting for our sun care because it really is a critical, step in taking care of your skin. It took over 2.5 years of research and development, but we really wanted to make sure that people knew that sun care is skin care too. I mean, that's truly, truly important. And education is key. I mean, there are so many, misconceptions out there. The first misconception really is that not everyone needs sun care or sun protection. Misconception. Everyone needs sun care, regardless of skin tone. You need daily sun care. You need year-round sunscreen. You need at least an SPF 30. I mean, we can all burn and tan from the sun's UVA and UVB rays. It's the UVA rays that really cause the aging, because they can penetrate deep into the skin. It's the UVB rays that really cause like the browning or the tanning or the hyperpigmentation. So, we wanted to create this broad spectrum sun care product that protects you from both UVA and UVB. Again, it had to be SPF 30. That's what's recommended. That you at least have a sunscreen or a sun care product of SPF 30. It had to be water resistant. Water resistant though is not waterproof, so that might be another misconception. It's got to be reapplied depending on what you're doing in your day. If you're out, all day long or at the beach, you really should be reapplying. I think another, not misconception, but another fact that people don't know is that you need to use enough sunscreen, right? So for your body, you need about an ounce of sunscreen, which is like the size of a shot glass or the size of a golf ball. every application. So that's every application. That's the amount you should be using. For your face, neck, and hands, and we often forget about our necks, we forget about our hands. For our face, neck, and hands, you need about, a nickel-sized amount or a half a teaspoon. I tend to prefer the mineral sunscreen. So, we wanted to, create a mineral sunscreen, create a sun care protection that's mineral based. Ours it's a 15% zinc oxide. Because we know that these mineral sunscreens are safer for the body, safer for the environment, better for sensitive skin, in that it doesn't really clog pores. Better for even babies. Babies 6 months of age and up can use mineral sunscreen. So Humanrace created this mineral sunscreen really through the lens of our skincare.
Mineral sunscreen is very hard to formulate with. I think that everybody kind of touts for all skin tones and won't leave a white cast, but I think that it's something that you have really figured out with Humanrace. And why was that something that was important to you, particularly surrounding sun education for skin of color and sun protection that works for skin of color and won't leave any sort of cast?
Thank you for asking that, because bringing that to the forefront. Yeah, that's the problem with the mineral sunscreen. That's why we really wanted to use a micronized one that, if massaged into the skin, it really should not leave that cast, that ghost-like or white cast. I mean, who wants to, walk around looking, dull or with a white cast all day? So, we tested it. I mean, we tested it on me. We tested it on browner hues because that's important to me. That's important to, my patients. So it really was important that we had something that when massaged into the skin, that no dull cast was left.
And I love the sunscreen is also really moisturizing, which I think is so great because I think during the summer, people are afraid to use moisturizers or they don't want to get greasy or goopy, but it seems like that's just an extra step of hydration. Is that something that was top of mind for you?
Yes, exactly. Definitely an extra step of hydration, which is certainly important. Again, something that you can just reapply throughout the day and get that dewy, that glow.
I know everyone always says the best sunscreen is the one that you'll use every day and you'll commit to reapplying. And I feel like you've hit the nail with this one because it's easy to use. I think that's the common theme actually with all of the products is that they're easy to use and they don't overcomplicate things. I'm a beauty editor. I have 9 zillion products in my cabinet and can definitely put together an hour-long skincare routine, but you don't have to.
No, you're right. And we don't want you to. That's key to our messaging. This is what we're trying to impart.
And I know that we are living in this moment of lots and lots and lots of celebrity beauty brands. And I always get so excited when I see one that actually has a dermatologist behind it and there's real science and formulations happening behind the scenes. What's that process like? And how did all these products come to be with your expertise?
So, yeah, to step back, this has really been just an incredible journey for me, from my initial conversation with Pharrell. That was probably about 5 years ago, to meeting Rachel and the rest of the team, to really finally seeing, the fruits of our hard labor realized. The Humanrace skincare really, it had to be rooted in Pharrell's personal skincare journey, right? Everyone wants to know, like you said, why does he look so young? Is he a vampire? Which I had never really heard before until recently. So, people are watching him, looking at him and studying him and just not really understanding, what is he doing? So, first and foremost, Pharrell really put together a team of amazing minds and chemists to create this product. Humanrace truly embodies Pharrell's philosophy of working hard, pushing the envelope, and really, striving for excellence. We try every single sample. I try every single sample. We look at every ingredient. We vet the ingredients, to make sure that they align with the brand. I support with the science and the ingredient verification. And, as we said, Pharrell really is the vision, the sensory, the artist who keeps us thinking about outside the box.
I love that. And I have heard you talk in the past about Lotus and how amazing that ingredient is. And it's not really something that I see in many other brands. I don't know if I've ever seen it in another brand. Why is that an ingredient that you love and it's become something central to the line?
So Lotus really speaks to who we are. It's a natural antioxidant. You think of the lotus plant, I think of something beautiful, something serene, but it's also something that's, has power to it, right? it's protected. It can protect the skin from, radical sun damage and from, environmental stressors, like pollution and UV rays. So it's like, it's this beautiful, delicate plant, but that it wields such strength. So, I mean, just that image in and of itself, for me, it's just says something.
We love a multi-purpose ingredient. That's how we can get away with only 4 steps in a routine. You got things that do it all in one step. I feel like we talked so much about hydration and the humidifying cream and how Pharrell loves hydration for all skin types. Why is hydration something that's important? I feel like for people with oily skin, they think they don't need it. For dry skin, I think people kind of get that it's important. But why is that something you recommend to everyone as being a real cornerstone of a routine?
Hydration is really, it is important for all skin types and all skin tones, because that's going to have our skin looking its best. I mean, our skin, it needs the water, the hydration, the nutrition of water. I mean, so it's just something that we all need. It's really just about feeding the cells, feeding the skin, so that, your skin is looking its best, not looking dry, not looking sallow.
Yeah, I need all the hydration I can get. And then, Dr. Elena, something that I ask everyone who comes on this show is to share their routine rundown. I imagine there are a lot of Humanrace products in your current regimen, but I'd love to hear what you use every day.
Definitely, I have to use Humanrace. I want to use Humanrace. I see a difference when I use Humanrace. So I definitely use the rice powder cleanser, morning and night. I will use the Lotus. I have more of an oily prone skin, so I can use the Lotus enzyme exfoliator, like every other night, and I'm fine with that. The nights that I'm not using the Lotus enzyme exfoliator, I love retinoids, so I'm using like a Altrino retinoid, which is really like a retinoid lotion, but it has hyaluronic acid in it, so it's a little less irritating. So I'm using that. The humidifying cream, for sure, I'm going to use it as my moisturizer every chance I get. Quite frankly, prior to launching the humidifying body cream, I was using the facial one all over, and just waiting for the body cream to come out. I'm excited about the body cream, so I have to have moisturized skin. So I love the body cream. I use that morning and night. Sunscreen is what I say. I have to use sunscreen. So I think that's pretty much, my routine.
And it's simple. See, that's what we love to hear. It's like just the most important things.
It is simple.
Dr. Elena, thank you so much. It's always such a treat to talk to someone behind such a legendary brand. So this is really exciting, and I appreciate you coming on so much.
Thank you for having me, and I'm just excited to be part of the Humanrace team.
On today's show, you heard me, your host, Zoë Weiner, in conversation with Dr. Elena Jones. Routine Rundown is a Well+Good Studios production. If you like what you heard, please share with a friend or two so they can join the conversation too. We also have a newsletter for you to subscribe to, which we've linked in the show notes for extra insight on all things mentioned in today's episode. And if you feel so moved, you can always drop us a line at podcast@wellandgood.com. Routine Rundown is produced by Taylor Camille, Jen Snyder, and Abby Stone, along with help from many other hands and brains at Well+Good. Our episodes are edited by Sarah Gabrielli and Maya Stone, with additional production support from Malia Agadello and Ashley George. Our theme music was created by Nick Doss, and our show art was designed by Natalie Carroll, Jenna Gibson, and Alyssa Gray. On the next episode of Routine Rundown.
Fun fact, our brain and our skin come from the same layer called the ectoderm when we are an embryo. And so that connection has existed from like the moment we exist, right? And so being that these organs are so interconnected, of course, those two things have an effect on each other. So it's really about your mind, your mental health, your emotional well-being, and how it shows up and manifests on your skin and body function.